Hi, my name is Norma Van Horn, and I visualize a world in which everyone has access to inner peace. And in this multi-step video series, I am walking people through the Embodied Root Wholeness process as it relates to processing the pain of the knowledge of Tyre Nichols' murder. And so the first step, which was in a previous video, was to take 24 hours to simply open, arch, allow awareness of the pain of this situation, and to really hold it tenderly in the awareness, hold the awareness of that painful energy, and allow it all the depth and time that it needs so that that energy of that painful pattern can be fully expressed and can move freely. And so we are allowing the energy to move freely while simultaneously holding it in the awareness. And it's both. It requires both. So it requires observing the energy as it is expressing, as it's moving, wherever it is in the body, if it's cycling, if it's trapped in the heart, whatever's happening energetically in the body, when you think about the pain of that situation, that's the energy to be observing and to be holding in the awareness. And doing this serves two purposes. One, it honors and processes the cycling energy, which just wants to be free, with integrity. And we are not a culture that knows how to handle our emotions with very much integrity. And so this does so. And the allowing and opening to the cycling energy while holding the awareness of it, not being submerged by it, but holding the cycling energy in the awareness, processes the energy with integrity. And the second thing that it does is it increases our capacity to hold our own pain. And it builds that muscle of inner awareness. So those are two really critical things that this first step does. So turning inward and honoring the energy is the first step of the embodied root wholeness. The second step is a mental exercise. And the subconscious drives us. Whatever is happening subconsciously permeates our conscious reality. It distorts everything that we see. So we made the subconscious, those things that we typically try to avoid and suppress and deny, we made that conscious. We consciously opened to it and allowed it in the first step. And this is a big step because we were consciously engaging with it instead of following our usual patterns of numbing awareness of that energy, of denying or repressing or suppressing it. So as a culture, we go to such great lengths to not know what is happening inside the body. And in this first step, we consciously engaged with it. And when we do this, we're making the subconscious conscious. And so it no longer has the power to drive us. Because when our painful energy is cycling, it takes over our perception of everything happening all around us, everything happening all around us. We can't even see straight when the energy is cycling. We see everything through the lens of this cycling and painful energy. It's like a distortion field. It's like we're wearing virtual reality goggles of our pain when we're blind to the life that is happening all around us. So for the second step, the invitation and opportunity is to recall over the past 24 hours, one of the moments while you were allowing the painful energy to exist and when you were holding it in the awareness. And you were perhaps, as you were doing so, aware of sensations of energy. Maybe it was like cycling and pulsing and moving through the body. Maybe there was a tightness, a holding, a barrier that was felt in the heart. maybe in the belly, maybe in the throat. They all come in different places. So just recall in that moment, one of the moments when you were consciously holding the energy and the awareness, recall how big the energy felt, how all-consuming it was, how it was all you could see in that moment. And just go back in time to that moment for a minute. And then imagine if you were sitting on a perch high up, somewhere in the near distance, and you were kind of in a corner, and you were just observing yourself as you were going through this experience. So just looking down mentally at the image of you processing the energy. So perhaps you were sitting on the couch journaling. Perhaps you were walking through the woods, whatever you were doing. Just looking at yourself from that higher perspective. What do you see? Describe the scene. So it could be, oh, there's a woman sitting on a couch journaling. Oh, there's a man walking through the woods. And the point of doing it this way, of looking at it from the outside, is to become aware of what you don't see. You do not see all of the energetic movements and patterns that were cycling in that moment, right? So from the outside, it could have been a very peaceful scene. It could have been a very peaceful scene, just sitting on the couch peacefully, or sitting in nature peacefully. That's what it would look like from the outside, right? But when the energy is active and it's cycling, you couldn't see it. You were disconnected from the life that was happening all around. And that's what happens when energy cycles. We get disconnected from the life that is happening all around us. So the energy that was cycling within the body, that permeated and distorted the vision, created virtual reality goggles for your experience of life, it actually only exists in one place at that moment in time, and that's inside of you. In the entire universe, that energy exists in one place at one point in time. That's it. And when it's cycling, it's just that it's all we can see, and it keeps us disconnected. So becoming aware of how cycling energy creates a virtual reality goggle type experience that distorts our perception of reality and that keeps us disconnected from the life that is happening all around us is the second step. So take a few moments and go through this visual exercise, this exercise of the imagination, and then create a small sense of separation. That's all we're doing, of creating a small sense of separation, of awareness of how cycling energy creates a VR goggle experience that keeps us disconnected from the life that's happening all around. And that is the entire second step. Okay, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear about your experience, and there will be more. This is just the step of creating a little bit of separation and starting to see how our cycling energy actually affects us. Thank you. Blue skies.